How's she going, my son, and welcome back to Undertale. I've scooted back to Waterfall because we have the mystery key and we get to use it now. But I'm also gathering up all the weapons I can. Now, admittedly, I've sold a few of the weapons that are in the game, and you can't re-equip the stick. When you use the stick, I'll actually show you. Whoops. Keep to their self. So it's actually canon that Napstablook and presumably all ghosts do not have a gender, which kind of makes sense because they don't have a body. I mean, sure, they can have an identity as one, but like, you know, not getting into the sticky issue of transes and whatnot. It's kind of hard to not have a gender when you don't have a body at all. Which is something, obviously, no human being has to live with. But as you see, if you try to equip the stick, you threw the stick away, then picked it back up. Yeah, and you can't re-equip the stick. It's mostly there just to give you something to work with when you start the game. While I work on my timer. And, you know, it does all the little Easter eggy type stuff for sparing monsters and whatnot. But anyway, we are at presumably Metaton's house. I'm assuming this is it. I mean, it's the heavily accepted theory. Now, one time I walked here and I walked behind the house and it gave me it's locked message, but but I'm not getting it now, which is weird. So I'm gonna see. Use the mystery key. Red House's door was unlocked. The key disappeared. Also, while we're talking about Metaton, I'd like to apologize because I did kind of rush the encounter a little bit. I only did 3 episodes when I could have done a little more. But the big thing is that I didn't do much with the typing section. But I mean, all it really is that he reacts to different things and gives you more points based on what different things are. I'm pretty sure if you say his legs, that's the best thing you can score. You might want to look it up, though. I might be wrong. Now, thought I was onto something here, but no, it does not look like there's a back door. What? You broke into Napstablook's cousin's house? That's... Hey, what was their name anyway? Excuse me a second, it's been a little bit since I've done the voice. Human! Here we go. Napstablook, the happy ghost! Okay, that's definitely wrong. It's not wrong, it's just my headcanon. Seriously, though, stop committing ghost crimes. Dear Diary, Shiren's sister fell down recently. It's sad. Without her sister to speak for her, she's become more reclusive than ever. So I reached out to her and told her that she, Blookie, and I should all perform together sometime. She seemed to like that idea. Dear Diary, I like to buy a new diary for every entry I make. I love to collect diaries. Dearest Diary, our cousin left the farm to become a training dummy. That leaves just Blookie and I. Blookie asked me if I was going to try to become corporeal too. They sounded so... resigned. Come on, Blookie, you know I'd never leave you behind. And besides, I'd never find the kind of body I'm looking for anyway. My darling Diary, I met someone interesting today. Last week I posted that advertisement for my human fan club. Today was our first meeting. Only one other person came. Honestly, she's a dork, and she's obsessed with these awful cartoons. But she's kind of funny, too. I want to see her again. Diary, my dear. My diary collection is going fabulously. I have like 5 now. Dear Diary, she surprised me with something today. Sketches of a body that she wanted to create for me. A form beyond my wildest fantasies. In a form like that, I could finally feel like... myself. After all, there's no way I could be a star the way I am now. Sorry, Blookie. My dreams can't wait for anyone. So obviously that's, you know, Metaton. I'm glad I got the headcanon line from Papyrus, because I was kind of wondering where that was coming from. So I've been back to Snowdon and I bought the Tough Glove. Gonna buy the notebook. Notebook. Glove. I can't re-equip the stick. I've sold the knife. I've sold the shoes. So what else am I missing? I am missing the gun? Because I have the pan equipped at the moment, don't I? Yeah. And then there's the knife, which I'll get when I get to the, when I actually get to Asgore, because I'll have the knife by then. The worn dagger, I should say. It's not the real knife. I mean, it is, but not to Frisk's perception, because they just look at it as a tool. By the time you get there in the Genocide / No Mercy run... Did you ever hear the old song Coming from the Sea? I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but the, you know, the real knife and the worn dagger are the same item. It's just that by the time you get there with your character, Chara, as most people refer to them, they see it completely differently. They see it as an actual weapon, which is why it gives them 99 attack. About a whole lot of fucking good it does them, though. Considering the only thing you have left to fight is Sans. And you could kill him with the stick, probably. But, you know, you have to hit him first. Alright, empty gun. I might need to grind some money. I might. Yeah, I gotta grind some money. Hang on. Hang on. Like, 3 encounters in the core, tops? 3 encounters in the core? I'd skip it, but I kind of want to talk to you guys a little bit, because I haven't done that in a bit. Firstly, assuming the subscriber numbers aren't fluctuating again, because they've been going up and down a little bit, but, you know, thank you for the guys who've been sticking around, and the new people who've been joining. I'm up to 151, last I checked. So I literally have a subscriber for every first-generation Pokemon that exists. I think that's awesome. And I would love to have enough subscribers for all the Pokemon. You know, because I think that'd be great. And, obviously, way more beyond that, because, you know, despite the fact that there's a lot of Pokemon, compared to a possible subscriber count, that's actually sorry about that. Compared to an actual subscriber count, that's actually a very small number, you know, depending on how big a channel can get. Because, I mean, like, obviously, the really big YouTubers have numbers in the millions at this point. I mean, Jacksepticeye hit, like, 8 million recently. It's like, goddamn. But, oh, I forgot to... I just kept going. I was talking to you guys. I forgot to grind for the money. Derp. But yeah, Jack hit 8 million recently, so I mean, obviously, it's going to take a damn long time for there to be that many Pokemon. You know, obviously, the concept of Pokemon itself would probably die out well before even, like, I don't know. I don't want to put too short a lifespan on it, because who knows, right? It's still going strong, but I don't know. Let's just ballpark and say, like, 2,000? Because, I mean, they only release, like, 50 to 100 every generation, depending on if they do, like, if the generation has, like, its own separate Pokedex or not, right? Because, like, 5th Gen gave a lot because they gave, because they had a whole dex to itself. But, like, 2nd Gen didn't add a lot, 4th Gen didn't add a lot, 6th Gen didn't add a lot. Because, jump the stick, yay. Ow, crap. Because they only added, like, 50, and then they used Pokemon from the previous generations to fill in the gaps. I mean, and you always end up getting all the Pokemon in a game anyway. Because, I mean, obviously catch them all, right? But, you know, gotta catch them all, but, you know, it would take a damn long time, considering how long it takes for a Pokemon game to be made, for them to get to 2,000 Pokemon. So, hopefully my subscriber count grows faster than that. I do love the music here. Again, it's very, like, Black Omen / most final levels kind of thing. Oh. Ah, no. No. Homing flies? Okay. It's alright. That's alright. But yeah, 151 subscribers, again, assuming the subscriber count stays stable. Or hopefully keeps growing. Might have more by the time I even check again, who knows. I'd love to. But yeah, got a new microphone. Subscriber count is in the triple digits and growing, and can we get to, like, I'd love to get to, like, 200 by the end of the month. I think that'd be awesome. I was gonna say by the end of the year, but obviously we're already in January, so that's a long time away. But, I'd like to get Like, can we get to 200 before the end of January? I think we could. And I'd like to. I think it'd be great. I'm not going to call it a New Year's resolution, because like, the way people mentally think of New Year's resolutions, they never get done. Alright, and I'd like to think that instead of making it a New Year's resolution, I'm just going to make it a resolution. Just something that I want to do, and I put my determination forward to do it. Instead of kind of making it this, like, tacky, oh, I'm gonna, like, this is gonna magically solve all my problems because it's the start of a new calendar cycle, kind of thing. You know, like, a lot of people want to lose weight, a lot of people want to quit smoking, or just quit any bad habit, really, or get good ones. But because it's a New Year's resolution, when you stop being in New Year's, you stop caring about it. It jumps out of your mind. I mean, obviously, some people... Excuse me, for some people it does work, which is good. You know, for some people you do actually get to the point where it becomes an actual habit, it becomes a good habit, or you ditch a bad habit, either way. But a lot of the time a New Year's resolution is just a thing you do and then you forget about it by, like, February. So I'd rather just make it a resolution. Make it something I do plan to do. Because I want to keep making videos, I want to keep getting subscribers, and I want to keep making people happy watching my stuff. Watching me talk over video games and saying stupid shit. Particularly anything in Newfoundlander talk. Newfoundlandese. Yes, bye. So, we're at New Home again. So, like, obviously, the underground is a lot bigger than the area you can actively explore in the game. And there must be a society, like an actual functioning society of monsters down here. We just don't get to run into a lot of them. Because they're all in their houses here. They're all in their buildings, and they're in this, and like also in home, in the ruins. God, I remember the first time I came here. It was such a shock because it was like, wait, this is Toriel's house, but it's not. But it's meant to look exactly like it. There's a note attached. Howdy, I'm in the garden. If you have anything you need to get off your chest, please don't hesitate to come. The keys are in the kitchen and the hallway. There's a heart-shaped locket inside the box. Will you take it? Take it. Heart-shaped locket. You know, this is actually another interesting point for the narrator Chara theory. Or the fact that, or as I like to think of it, you're always Chara, or the character is always Chara, they just become someone else at the end of the Pacifist playthrough. How would they know? How would the character know what's in the box if they've never opened it before? Chara put it there. Or presumably Azrael did and told him, you know, or someone did, that they knew. Equip the heart. You equip the locket. Now, I already have the Temi armor, so which is better, but I'm going to be doing something later, which needs me to be wearing not the Temi armor. There's a worn dagger inside the box. Will you take it? Take it. You got the worn dagger. Worn dagger. Weapon attack 15. Perfect for cutting plants and vines. You equip the dagger. It's an interesting thought. If these were meant to be gifts to Chara, because presumably the necklace is like a best friends forever thing from Azrael, and presumably the dagger was something relevant to his interests that Toriel and or Asgore were getting them as like a present, like a birthday present possibly, it must mean that Chara liked to garden. Because it's a tool used to cut plants and vines, like it says in the tooltip there. Just a thought. What a comfortable bed. If you laid here, you might not ever get up. Chara's deathbed. It's a twin-sized bed. There are a lot of striped shirts in here. It's a family photograph. Everyone is smiling. It's a drawing of a golden flower. Now, it's interesting. I believe this is the picture in the Genocide playthrough / No Mercy playthrough where Chara doesn't say anything. It's red text, but it's just a bunch of ellipses, a bunch of dots. It's almost like it's a moment of weakness in the otherwise No Mercy monster that you've made them. They're looking at their happy family, and they're regretting what they've done, or at least they can't act upon. They can't say they're not going to act out against you at this point. long time ago, a human fell into the ruins. Injured by its fall, the human called out for help. Took the key, put it on your phone's keychain. Despite everything, it's still you. It's Asgore's journal. All the current page says is, nice day today. The ink is still almost wet. It's a king-sized bed. Macaroni art of a flower. For King Dad. It's a bureau. There's a Santa Claus outfit inside. It's a clothes drawer. There are robes, button-up shirts, and a pink hand-knit sweater that says Mr. Dad Guy. I do love the headcanon that Chara knitted that. I mean, it could have been Asriel. It could have even been Toriel. Because Chara just comments he still has that sweater. But, you know, I think it's cute, the idea that it was Chara that did it in the first place. Might run a little long here, because I kind of want to get to the point where I get to Sans. Because I kind of want to mess with him in the next episode. But, you know, have an episode dedicated to it. But this room, in particular, gives you a lot of opinion on what Chara was before the thing we know them as now, the demon who comes when they speak their name. The name we give them. Although I actually just had a thought about the Worn Dagger and this. This might have been a gift for Chara, but this might have actually been a gift from Chara to Asgore. Because Asgore loves the garden, we all know this. You know, this is what he does with his life, basically. This is all he wants to do, even if he is the king. So, it might have been something Chara found. Asriel, the king's son, heard the human's call. He brought the human back to the castle. I'm trying to make the voices a little different. But Chara would know what was in the box then, because over time, Asriel and the human became like siblings. The king and queen treated the human child as their own. The underground was full of hope. Although actually, now that I think about it with the presents, both of those might have been from Chara to his family. Or their family. I apologize if I pronoun incorrectly. Although to be fair, no. If Chara is your character in this game, I'm going to say mine's male. Because I can do that. And it's easier on my brain, to be completely honest. I mess up pronouns like that a lot. I don't deal with a lot of trans people in my life. Because, well, I'm from Newfoundland. You're either a man or a woman. It's kind of clear-cut. You know, not to say that they're not accepted, but it's just a very rare thing to happen. Sometimes very clean. Someone must use fire magic instead. Take the key and put it on your phone's keychain. And I am about to sneeze. No, I'm not about to sneeze. Okay. It's a note. Howdy. Help yourself to anything you want. There's some white fur stuck in the drain. Fridge is full of unopened containers of snails. You unlocked the chain. There's an old calendar from the end of 2010X. A date is circled on it. So if that's the date Chara fell, because that's what he says in the Genocide/No Mercy playthrough, then, one day, the human became very ill. So you're like, how far is it since Frisk fell? Out of curiosity. If they did at all, because that's not how I see it. The sick human had only one request, to see the flowers from their village. But there was nothing we could do. I think I'll stop headcanoning for a little bit while we do this part. The next day. The human died. Asriel, racked with grief, absorbed the human soul. He transformed into a being with incredible power. With the human soul, Asriel crossed through the barrier. He carried the human's body into the sunset, back to the village of the humans. Asriel reached the center of the village. There, he found a bed of golden flowers. He carried the human onto it. Cursor off screen, please, thank you. Damn it! Stupid bed ruining moment. Suddenly, screams rang out. The villagers saw Asriel holding the human's body. They thought that he had killed the child. The humans attacked him with everything they had. He was struck with blow after blow. Asriel had the power to destroy them all. But Asriel did not fight back. Clutching the human, Asriel smiled and walked away. Wounded, Asriel stumbled home. He entered the castle and collapsed. His dust spread across the garden. The kingdom fell into despair. The king and queen had lost 2 children in one night. The humans had once again taken everything from us. The king decided it was time to end our suffering. Every human who falls down here must die. With enough souls, we can shatter the barrier forever. It's not long now. King Asgore will let us go. King Asgore will give us hope. King Asgore will save us all. You should be smiling, too. Aren't you excited? Aren't you happy? You're going to be free. Thank you all so much for watching. Twitter, Tumblr, and subscription are in the description below. That moment is never going to not make me feel something. As jaded as I might become doing this game over and over again, especially if I do multiple genocide runs eventually in the future, probably the distant future, that's just so well done. And the music fits it so perfectly. And the fact that it all dies right here, like it's just completely silent at this point, is amazing. I love it. But with that in mind, ciao for now.